Have you ever wondered what makes a geography fieldwork investigation, well, great? We're about to break one down, piece by piece, using a 2023 exam question on tourism in Rome. This is basically the blueprint for acing this kind of project. Let's jump right in.
Okay, so first things first, in any investigation, where on earth do you even start? Well, in Rome, the data makes it incredibly clear. A staggering 86.8% of tourists at the main heritage sites, they're all going to one place, the Colosseum. We're talking almost 9 out of every 10 people. So for our investigation, this isn't just an interesting spot, it's ground zero.
And right there, that's your crucial first step. You have to justify your focus. With numbers this lopsided, studying the Colosseum isn't just a good idea for understanding tourism's impact. Honestly, it's the only logical choice if you really want to see the true pressures on the city.
And get this. This isn't some new trend. The line on this graph tells the whole story. It's just a relentless climb, from a little over 5 million visitors back in 2012 to more than 7.5 million by 2019. This tells us we're not just looking at a busy day, we're looking at years and years of escalating pressure on one single, incredible monument.
All right, so we've nailed down our where, the Colosseum. Now we need the what. You see, a really strong investigation needs a sharp, focused question. So it's time to build our hypothesis. This is the guiding star for the entire project.
So here it is, the big question, framed as something we can actually test. The higher the number of tourists visiting a heritage site, the lower the environmental quality there. It's simple, it's direct, and it gives us a really clear relationship to investigate. Basically, do more people automatically mean more problems for the environment? That's what we've got to find out.
So, we have our question. The next logical step is, how do we answer it? This is where we get our hands dirty with the actual fieldwork. And for this, we have a 4-step mission designed for one thing: collecting data that's clean, reliable, and trustworthy.
Think of this as your 4-step playbook for getting solid data. First, you pair up, so you have a consistent partner. Second, you synchronize. Do all your data collection on the same day, so you're not comparing a sunny Tuesday with a rainy Saturday. Third, you standardize. Take your measurements from the exact same spot at each location. And finally, you collate everyone's data to get a really solid average.
Just burn these 4 words into your brain. Pair up, synchronize, standardize, collate. Each one is like a little insurance policy against messy, unreliable results. When you follow them, you can be confident you're actually measuring the location's impact, not just the fact that your method was all over the place.
Okay, now for the part that really separates the good fieldwork from the great fieldwork. It's time for some critical evaluation. Because let's be real, no method is perfect. We need to put our own survey under the microscope and be honest about what it did well and where it fell short.
Let's kick off with the good stuff. The big strength here is that this survey is super efficient. It gives you a quick snapshot of what's happening on the ground. Plus, because it's so standardized, the results are really easy to compare. You can make a direct apples-to-apples comparison between the Colosseum and, say, the Pantheon.
But, and this is a big but, we have to talk about its main weakness, subjectivity. What one person calls crowded and noisy, another person might call vibrant and exciting. The data really comes down to personal opinion, and that's not quite the same thing as a hard, objective fact. And that leads right into the second limitation. Its scope is pretty narrow. I mean, it's great for spotting things you can see and hear, like litter or noise, but it's completely blind to all the invisible impacts, things like the economic pressures on local businesses or the social changes for residents. It's a keyhole view, not the whole picture. So, when you pull back and look at everything we've just talked about, what's the big takeaway? Well, it all boils down to what I call the 3 essential pillars of any successful fieldwork investigation.
And here's how it all fits together like a puzzle. You start with an accurate context. That's our 86.8% number that proves why we're focusing on the Colosseum. Then, you use a rigorous method. That's our 4-step process for getting good data. And finally, you wrap it all up with a truly critical evaluation, taking an honest look at your method's strengths and weaknesses.
So the real question to ask yourself is this: whether you're studying the Colosseum or your own local high street, is your investigation built on this same solid foundation? Context, method, and evaluation. Because mastering that blueprint is how you turn simple observations into genuinely powerful, persuasive insights.